Today's podcast is brought to you by our friends over at SmartDeploy, a flexible IT solution for the modern workplace. You can go to smartdeploy.com/FRD and grab your free offer worth about $570. Or, can't.
I know.
What?
I know.
What are you doing with your
My
life?
dedication is rarely celebrated as much as it should be.
Is it?
But yeah, we're on a canal in the southeast of Mexico City. I'm going to pronounce this wrong, so please don't correct me. Zocomilo, I think. But
Oh,
this
so
is
you worked.
the pre-Mexican City canal system that used to, this was before there was a Mexico City. They built like kind of a Venice here. And this is what's left of it.
So you were literally on a boat.
Literally on a boat, being
You-
pushed by a man with a stick. I'm serious. Like in Venice.
Well, what you should do is ask that man who's pushing this boat on a stick his feelings about Windows 11, because I would love to know if he has a device with TPM 2.0 and an Intel 8th gen or later.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say he does not.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like that kind of a tech savvy guy to me. But I'm also going to say I don't think he cares in the slightest. Also, he was very confused about what I was doing here.
I mean, do people not generally podcast on a boat in Mexico?
This might be the first. Well, actually, you know what? I'm sure there's been a lot of YouTube idiots doing their video things, but someone actually making like what we'll term a work call, for lack of a better term, is probably a first. I think he thought I was videotaping them.
Oh, and then was sadly.
But I'm like one of those. We were up so we went on that balloon ride thing, right? So there's the four of us were all taking pictures, or three of us actually. Kelly didn't go. Another couple. Sorry, Kelly. Another couple taking pictures, and then there's this one jerk with her selfie stick just taking a picture of her. It's like you've got all God's creation out there, and you're taking a picture of you. It's like, but that's what people do, Brandon. It's your generation. You're the problem.
Wow, just broad strokes of.
I don't know where that went, but how was your weekend?
It was fine. I'm continuing to doing the trim in my house as my life spiraled out of control. It started in the dining room, and now I had ripped out all the baseboards. I've replaced all the baseboards. Now I've got to go fill in all the nail holes and paint and continue to do stuff. But did you ever figure out were you able to fix your laptop that got doused by the AC unit?
No, I tried. I went to we just walked by a hardware store, and I said, you know what, I'm going in. And I asked to see they had one of those sets where you pull out the little keys,
Mm-hmm.
but it was an Allen set. And I was there, and I said, Allen, I said, I have in my head that it's Storks. And they said, you didn't have any Storks. I said, well, that's fine. I'll just get this. And it was Storks, and also really small Storks. Like the smallest Allen key on the set that I bought was probably a little too big for the size of the lug nut. I don't know what you call it, the screw or whatever it is. And so, I mean, if I can find one here again, I will. If I can't, I'll do it. I know I have this at home. Like I'll get it open at home. I guess my only worry is, I think if I unplug the battery, do the thing I described before, it'll probably work. I hope, water hasn't like rusted something in there. But I don't know, it's dry here. I feel like it should be okay. I'm not going to be super confident about anything, I guess, but yeah, we'll see.
Well, one thing you should be confident about is trusting our friends over at SmartDeploy. The modern workplace requires modern IT tools. When legacy solutions like Ghost, MDT, and Acronis Snap Deployed no longer fit the bill, try SmartDeploy's modern endpoint management solutions. Head on over to smartdeploy.com/FRD to get started with your free exclusive software worth over $570. So did you actually bring the HP ZBook? That's not the one that broke, is it?
No, it's the other one. I brought the HP ZBook was the one I had to review next. And then I thought about bringing two review laptops, but the thing is I wanted to run Windows 11, of course, right? Because I knew there'd be new builds and all that. And plus I'm doing my article series. And I had already put Windows 11 on the Dragonfly. So I said, well, let's bring that, and it's light. It has a SIM card. I could put a 5G data SIM in there, which I did for all kinds of reasons. It has a better webcam, like I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one that died. So I was trying to find out if this thing had any kind of water resistance. The only thing I found was that it has a spill resistant keyboard. I guess that doesn't include a waterfall of water hitting it from the side, but what are you going to do?
Unfortunately, your laptop doesn't have a sump pump, which is probably what it needed. And then there was another.
So the place.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. That's okay.
Well, I was going to say there was some big announcements on the Sonos side, which came out because Sonos has been in court with Google over effectively the Chromecast audio. And it looks like Sonos walked up and said, hey, Google's doing all this stuff. There's, I think, 5 patents. And the judge said, yeah, they are. And that was a big victory
exactly.
for them.
That's exactly what he said. So now it has to go before the full panel of judges at the, the International Trade Commission. And that won't happen until December. But if it passes through as it should, I mean, I think we've seen what's going to happen. Google will actually be prevented from importing any Google Assistant speaker devices into the United States. So I suspect between now and then, you're going to see a new partnership between these two companies. They're going to be really big friends. It's going to work out great.
Yeah, as we were talking through this, I suspect that at some point between now and then, we'll hear it was settled out of court will be the...
Yeah.
Because
absolutely. Yep.
The fact that
Google will pay them a licensing fee every month for every device they make or whatever. Lump sum up front, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, considering the
good thing here is...
Yep.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, what I want to see is the ability to add Google Nest speakers to your Sonos setup, right? They make some nice lower end speakers. I mean, is that my hand? I can't. I'm trying to fix this in a way that I can make sense of it. Look how beautiful it is there, Brad.
It is.
Fish is going to jump out of the water and eat me in the middle of the podcast.
I was hoping that those are actually piranhas in there, and then you might.
Right.
It's tragic.
There's a lot of stork-like creatures here.
Paul sent me a picture of a stork, by the way, and he said, look, it's a stork. And I said, go capture it and bring it home. Make sure your wife is filming.
Well, they're at the top of trees that are like 100 feet in the air. And all day long, they make these really awful sounds. Like it's like a frog amplified by like 200%. And they just all day long until the sun goes down. You know, they're beautiful. And then you're there for about 10 minutes. You're like, man, those things are really kind of nasty. You know, a lot of wildlife is like that.
Yeah, a lot of goose-like animals, geese-like animals, goose-like animals, geese-like animals are jerks. So, anyways. Well, Paul, you enjoy your time. I can't get over the fact that you were literally on a river just.
I know. Yeah, we are. It's quiet too. I specifically wanted to do this first thing in the morning because this could be party central. There are, I can't remember what the number he said, but literally thousands of boats, and they all bump into each other and they're all over the place. Like if we did this on a weekend day, there would have been boats everywhere in this picture. And I wanted to have this experience because there's a restaurant out here. There are restaurants that have farms out here where they grow the vegetables that they use in the restaurant. And it's just a beautiful, tranquil place that would only be ruined by more of what I'm doing. So it's okay for me. I just don't want other people to do it. That's what it means to be an American, folks.
That is...
Yeah.
Anyways, well, with that happy little note there, we'll kick it over to our friends. Make sure to check out our friends over at SmartDeploy Modern Endpoint Solutions for the hybrid workplace. Check out smartdeploy.com/FRD, and we'll be back tomorrow, and Paul might be on land, or he might be at the bottom of the sea.
I'll try. Probably on land.
Hopefully not.